Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Advanced Tactics Cold, episode number 5. So we have a few changes I want to make before we actually end the turn. Sendai will be changed to directly reinforced First Army, and I want to change the template of the Army headquarters with a little bit of experimentation off camera. I found that the extra riflemen or armored cars or extra units in the template itself can actually delay the propagation of forces to the individual divisions, and that's pretty critical to me right now, so I'm going to delete that. I also can set this down to something like 40, something silly, because we have auto staff equals on, and what that means is the Supreme Headquarters is actually going to be trying to feed enough staff to the First Army HQ to keep it at 100%. And we should see that in effect once I end the turn. Other things I want to do is make sure that not here, riflemen, yeah, that's good. I want to produce more riflemen, and I also want to produce some trains. We're very limited right now. I just haven't been prioritizing enough, I think, the train production. Now next turn we're going to get a train back, and we'll get 2 new trains now that we're building those. But I'm sure that we'll find that still isn't enough. One other thing I could do, who is producing riflemen and supplies? I might also set Ostju just for one more turn to be headquarters in Sendai. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to prioritize these 2. 1, 2. This guy's out of range anyway, so I can't reinforce his 10 riflemen, but I can prioritize this one. I don't like to use the priority function much, but I will use it to try to get some forces forward. And that's also mainly because I'm going to build another unit here. Now this is partly to suck more forces, more riflemen out from the main headquarters, which I probably don't need to do this because I have a feeling they'll already be completely depleted. And I'll put this at replenishment of 50% just to make sure it gets a very low priority, that the other infantry get the priority first. However, I will, just for the heck of it, put, let's just say 10, maybe, yeah, okay, let's say 10 riflemen in there just to begin with immediately. Low readiness, I don't think I want them on the front. I don't think that they could be attacked. Yeah, it's actually impossible for them to be attacked, so I'll move them forward here. But I'll keep them as a low priority, and then, because they're not threatened, I know that the other places can threaten more. And anyways, we need these units to have, these 3 are, I would say, probably in worse situations. I don't know. We can always manually reinforce via transfer if that turns out to be a problem. One other thing I want to point out is that Yution and King Chi, we're at 900 and they're at 960. They already have surpassed us, even though they've only owned this for like, well, 1 full turn, 2 turns if you count the turn they actually occupied it. So even though they've only had it for 2 turns, let's say, or 1 turn, they're at 960. We've had this one for like 4 turns, 3 or 4 turns, and we're only at 900. So this is their resupply, the AI's bonus to resupply coming into effect. We'll see it even worse in the next turn. And speaking of, I think that we're okay to move on. I got the extra template. I changed the template of, I got the extra division, infantry division. I changed the template of Katsuragi-san. And I changed production here. Yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and end the turn. Oh, wow. This is interesting. Okay, this is very interesting. So they actually pushed and reconnected this unit. So in order to eliminate this unit, I actually have to attack this unit as well. This is pretty cool. This is going to be a very interesting turn, I believe. Let's start with some of the basics, like we can move this train back, transfer it in. How's our logistics looking? Not you. Yeah, so we still ended up using pretty much all of our rail capacity. We're down to 10 staff here with only 53%, but what we can see is this staff is exactly at 100%, so that's what the auto staff is doing. It's keeping this unit in good shape. If I want to attack this unit, I want to for sure. This is kind of interesting. I wonder. This is really interesting. I think what I'm going to have to do is form a line. This is unexpected. I'm going to have to attack this unit, which has 9 riflemen. It should be easy to defeat. So we'll have to attack him and then use everyone, all 3 divisions, to attack this unit. Okay, let's get to it immediately. Why wait? Okay, so we took 3 casualties. We had a retreated armored car that's not good, but in the end, it was still. Well, this isn't great. It's 7-3 in terms of riflemen, which is mostly what I count. So 2-1. I mean, I always want to do at least 2-1, and if we count militia, which is what I usually do, as half, then it's 11-3. So it's more like 3-1, which is at my preferred minimum casualty rating. I mean, that's just how much you have to win by in order to be effective against the AI. Okay, so we can move and keep attacking, which is certainly what we have to do. So I'll move this unit here. And let's move this unit down before the attack, because if I push this unit back into the marsh, if we don't kill it, its zone of control will then be exerted on this enemy hex, but if I just move down now before that happens, I get that territory back. So now we do one final attack with everyone. Oh my god, they killed an armored car. Good lord. And they have 1 unit remaining. That's frustrating. Very frustrating. Okay. That's frustrating. That's very frustrating. Very frustrating. Well, at least these units are getting more riflemen, which is good. It's, you know, what I was hoping. We can get some more forces there. Okay, low readiness, high readiness, high readiness. It shouldn't take much for me to move. This guy's only choice is going to be to either attack this unit or to this unit. I don't think we want to attack this unit. Let's see, 18. It's possible. We really could, frankly, but is it worth it? I think we draw them forward. They might be cut off from supply going over the stream anyway, so let's see what happens. I want to move here just so I can recon this. If it's a headquarters, I'll attack it. 10 riflemen at 10 readiness. Okay, let's look at this a little more closely. This is 100 units at very low readiness and over 100 units at very low readiness. I think this is going to be our target of attack. So let's just hope this goes well. This is very aggressive, but we move here. We can attack from those sides, and obviously we want to move here, not here, because then we surround them on more sides. Even though we aren't attacking from this hex, we're still attacking from a bigger angle. And you can just imagine trying to cover with a defensive position, 180 or more, versus maybe like 120. So this is very aggressive, but I want to try to basically chop the head of the serpent off before it gets too strong. Every turn they're going to regain readiness. When I see 25 readiness, and what's more, they're going to take a huge attack stack penalty. You can see that my attack stack is 122. I am allowed 150. They have the same allowance, so they're allowed also 150, but they're at, what, like over 200, which means that a lot of their forces are going to be fighting with a pretty big penalty. And with the concentric bonus we get to our attack, and the fact that we're attacking with armored cars in good readiness versus riflemen in very poor readiness, I suspect that we should decimate this force. Call it like a gut intuition, because our actual combat supply, I mean the combat values, I like to use at least like a 3-to-1 ratio for attack, and that's with infantry. With armored cars, you can be probably a little more like 2-to-1. I mean, it's a rule of thumb, right? And it's not at all, it's like, doesn't take into account any of the specifics. So armored cars in the open plains, you can probably get away with 2-to-1 in terms of like the power, if you just do a raw power calculation. So we're like at 220, they're at like 60. And that's almost 4-to-1. So we should be plenty okay, especially because the 4-to-1 works even more in our favor, considering it's armored cars attacking in well, this is fields, but it doesn't offer that much more entrenchment than plains. So yeah, long story short, we should be okay. Lots of units dying, but well, okay, I would say this didn't go as well as I was hoping. I can say that specifically because I was recording, I thought I was recording, I actually was starting to run this episode through, and I did not have that. The thing in the south was all completely new, but this was something I was already planning to do, or had done in the last one, and I still agreed it's a good thing to do. And I did not lose this many units. I lost 10 or 9 riflemen, and in this one we lost pretty much double that. The good news is we did kill 80. This is 80 riflemen. So the ratio is 4-1. In my last attack, I think I got 10-1. So, yeah, it just goes to show you that make sure your recording software is on. That's the price I pay. But, I mean, it's still a good result. It's just it could have been a lot better. That's fine. So we'll take it. We'll move this unit. Okay, we don't want to move anyone here. Actually, it's a little bit too aggressive. I'm going to move this unit back. And this unit is actually capable of moving here and then moving here. So now we have a front line in the back as well. So, and then the 6th will probably move here. And the 7th is going to have to move down here to fill in this gap, which is this frustrating thing about this unit. And frankly, I'm not even sure if we should move into this or not. I do want him to move backwards, so let's see if he does that. If he falls into my trap, that's perfect. If he moves here, it's slightly more painful. If I move this unit here, he'll probably move north. Which is still better than him moving here. But he still could move that way. Or he could move back down, which I also don't want. I think I'm going to stay here. Let's hope that he tries to just reconnect with the lines. I mean, frankly, his best option is to move south. I don't think he can even do that. So if he can't move south, maybe he just automatically will try to move back this way to reconnect. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Okay, so we can see, by the way, the 1200, we're getting 300 per turn. They moved from 960 up to 1920. It's just insane how much resupply they're getting, but we'll try to deal with that. Yeah, and I would say that it would be nice to move forward here, where we have to create a lot more. We have one armored car. Did somebody lose an armored car? Yeah, we did. Oh gosh. Let's prioritize this one. Let's turn this guy back to 100%. The DISB, I don't know if I already mentioned this, but that's for if you want to disband a card. So if you have, let's say, armored recon and you aren't producing armored cars anymore, you have a division which goes down to 3 armored cars. If you don't have a replacement for it, you might just want to disband this. Use the 3 armored cars to replace other divisions' armored cars. And then you can use this division card for something else like light tanks or anything. Let's get everyone back to 100%. I'm going to try right-clicking. It doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't work. I thought I could maybe counter-rotate by right-click, but this game doesn't allow that. And same for... Well, actually, you do need to be priority. I probably did that this turn. I'm already forgetting. Okay, that is all we want to do for movement in the front, which means that I can now move these units. And also, this guy gets further forward just because I didn't switch his... I didn't switch him last turn. Switch him this turn and move these guys forward as well. And get them to also be the 9th and 10th. No, wait. 11th, 10th and 11th. Okay, good. So interesting. How do I deal with this in the south as well? I may want, because this is pretty good. If I move them any further forward, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can probably move him 1 further forward, and he can still... Well, we do have some other stuff to do first. Let me come back to him. I want to move this guy, and then move him forward. He's going to get oil. Oh, yeah, we got to build our gun factory. And then move you, eventually you'll be moving towards this oil. We need 2 full turns, not next turn, but the turn after that, in order to get enough engineering points to build the next oil. So we're not really even in a rush to get to that oil, but he has blank action points, so I mean, what else are you going to do? You are going to start moving towards the front. Okay, not bad. So I would say not as, it went like a lot worse for us in terms of this battle compared to what I expected. Like if I ran that battle 3 or 4 times, I think I would expect on average 10 riflemen to be lost. Yeah, but I don't think I'd expect to kill 80. I'd probably expect to kill 70. So, well, you know, it was a little bit worse for us than usual, but at least it was a little bit more bloody for them as well. It's just that the enemy reinforcements are so incredibly strong that probably taking more losses means a lot more than doing more damage. Okay, so these guys are all set. The only thing we're going to want to do is continue to force more riflemen forward. I'm going to create 3 new templates. We want a lot of infantry. Okay. So, to that point, I may even get more infantry. Seems okay. Oh yeah, we have to switch all our production stuff, so this is now going to be 50 and 50. This actually has to change to horses now that I'm actually getting artillery, so I need horses to pull the artillery. There are some horses scattered about. I'm going to use those as just backup horses for wherever they are. I mean, horses might take casualties eventually at some point. Or I may divine some kind of nefarious use for them in the future. So I'm just going to leave them in the first army. I think I have a few here. 2. Interesting. So what I'm going to do is transfer... I'm going to carry the horses. Let's put 4 armored cars down. Take all the riflemen. And we'll actually carry the horses too, which is a little bit weird, but we can do it. So we look at logistics. Oh, sorry. Analysis, there it is. So we have the carrying capacity of 20. The weight of the horses is also just 1 per. So we can carry the 2 horses on 1 armored car and carry the 6 different riflemen on 2 different armored cars, which means we have one armored car in theory just not being used, but we have nothing else we want to carry out of our headquarters. So, and I always talked about oil. Oil, you can see how big of a problem it's getting. I'm back down to 5,000, which is not good. So, yeah. So we'll need to really ramp up the oil production, and I'll do that next turn immediately. I'll get some more oil. I think upgrading this goes from 250 to 1,000, so an additional 750, which is going to be extremely useful. And I don't want to, you know, beat a dead horse, but again, our armored car production continues static, so every turn our oil usage is going up. So we have to be aware of that. And I don't want to restrict my movement. I haven't yet so far constrained any of my movement because of, you know, the desire to save oil. And having to do that will be a really bad thing. So we don't want to. We'll try to hold off on that for as long as possible. Okay, let's look at what else we want to do. 24 staff, riflemen. I think this is the 90. Yeah. Okay. And I think we'll do riflemen, not more staff. We need more riflemen. Lots more. I mean, I think I'm making... We probably should use production overview at this point, but I'm making... I made 3 new templates. We have plenty of templates that aren't... Plenty of divisions. I made 3 new divisions. I have plenty of divisions who are lacking riflemen. And I'm only creating enough to not even fully supply 3 divisions. So... Rifleman production won't be where it needs to be, not at least by the end of next turn, but I'll probably at some point start slowing down on my creation of new division templates, my new divisions, infantry divisions, and that will allow the rifleman production to catch up. I mean, also the production centers are still ramping up, so we'll be able to produce more riflemen only once they get going. I'm really frustrated. Every time I did this one, this guy died completely. You can see he's at 0 readiness, but I can't even attack into... So actually this unit card may be really important. I might even shift everyone down by 1. Shift you as well. I'm shifting them down by 1 because I'm going to leave this guy here. He's going to reinforce the north probably, but 1, 2, 3, no problem to get there. And I might need him to attack into the swamp because we need a group that doesn't have armored cars to do that. So, yeah. Okay, that I think is all we want to do this turn. Eventually, we're going to want enough research points to do the machine guns and to get the machine gun upgrade, which is, for the machine gun it's 22, for the machine gun 2, the upgrade, is 45. That's going to be really helpful. If I'm investing the points into machine guns, I'd like to get the better ones as well. So, because it is expensive, 250 points. I mean, production points versus only 100. Okay, I think that's everything we want to do for this turn. I'm just going to go ahead and do my due diligence. Oops. Double check all production. Could do this at the production overview, but I'll just do them one by one. That looks good. That's very low in political points, but we need the riflemen. We have the horses. Oh yeah, I probably need to create a new division of artillery. Rifles, good. Yeah, that's fine. Rifles going directly to Sendai, and this is also going directly to Sendai. How's our supply usage? It's got 1,300 demand here. Stockpile is very low. Yeah, we need that supply. My goodness. It's just lots of things that we need. Okay, let's create a new template for artillery. Add formation, artillery, and horses for each. Okay, good. Yep, that's good. I think that's what I want. So now we can actually go over here, create a new division, and make this my first artillery. It won't be ready for a couple turns, but in the meantime, it's going to be useful to push the artillery forward. Same thing, just always create that demand at the lower headquarters, because we don't really need any units to stay in our supreme headquarters. I mean, it's nice as an emergency reaction force because of the rail capacity. Eventually, we should not be using all of our rail cap, and then we can use things to, we can actually use the headquarters manually to either transfer into our armies or to create a new like emergency division somewhere. Let's say that they start pushing north here. I could create an emergency division of riflemen here, and then we can counter any kind of hopefully out of supply enemies that move this way. Okay, good. So let's end the turn. I hope I'm not missing anything. You always have this feeling, did I miss something? Yes. I do think I want to move this, so they can probably move to an enemy territory, so you can move here. I want to make sure that his zone of control does not take this oil. So I'm going to move north, just north. It's a very simple movement, but just to push him back. God, good thing I did that. We would have lost the oil. That's crazy. I don't know. I don't even know how they got that far. Okay. I don't like the division card thing. I really don't like that headquarters get cards. Ours is charge, which is the worst one because it basically kills your general. The best one you can get is blitz, probably, which has only a minor chance. I don't know how this guy got this far forward. He's at 100% readiness, so it's moving through enemy territory. It's 30. The cost of moving through enemy territory is 30. I mean, through territory, this territory is 30 for infantry. Then plus 10 because it's enemy territory, and then plus an additional 10 to move into zone of control. So this last hex he moved should have been, let's see, so it's 40 for me to move here, and it's 90 to move there, because it's 40 to move here, and then it's 50 to move from there, to move there. Was he here beforehand? Okay, let's see, was he here? I can't remember, maybe he was. No, he wasn't. They've done the impossible. I don't know how they did that. 1, 2, 3. Any way you look at it, it's impossible. How the hell did they do that? This is the first time I've ever seen the AI, I suspect, cheat. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have all the information, but it seems impossible for them to have moved 3 hexes in my territory. I cannot do that for theirs, even if it's empty territory, and they even did it moving into my zone of control. So I didn't know that. Apparently the AI even has some movement bonus, which is really unfortunate. And if you're thinking to yourself, what if this was considered enemy or friendly territory for them? Let's even pretend that. It's 30 to move in here, it's 40 to move in here, and it's still 50 to move in here, and they've already used 70. So that's 120. I don't understand. 2. Yeah, that's exactly what he did. He moved 3 hexes. I don't understand. 1, 2, 3. Well, colored me very surprised, confused, a little frustrated. I'm still learning the extent of the AI cheating. But let's ignore it. Let's not let it ruin our experience here. It's just another challenge. So the front looks like it's pretty much filled out. And they did move south. Okay, well, that means that we're going to have to watch out for the south. Yeah, they're definitely pushing forces forward. Okay. Yeah, they have 2 divisions there now. So I think we keep this guy here just long enough for him to get some units, and then we send him to take this spot. Actually, I think I can take that this turn. No, it's 50 to move in here, and how much is it for these guys to enter? 50. So it's 50 to move into these. Since it's enemy territory and zone of control, it'd be 70. So we need at least 30 movement points available. We definitely don't have that. Damn. Because I can't attack them this turn, they'll probably, especially if they can move more than I think they can. And these cities, look at, they're 100%. My cities, still not. So if we move here, they can reinforce this hex by the beginning of my next turn, so it's kind of pointless. We'll have to invite them in and then try to cut them off or something, I don't know. Challenge accepted, basically. Now, oh, they're getting armored cars. Okay, this changes everything. Holy cow! Oh my gosh, this is tough. This is tough. It's brutal. I mean, there's a way to check, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I've lost so far 1 armored car and 24 riflemen. They've lost 138 rifles and 29 militia. We'll keep tabs on that screen from time to time. It's going to be ridiculous. Okay, so how do we want to conduct ourselves this turn? Wow, it's difficult. You can't move here because of the zone of control. Unless we attack this guy, we won't be able to get there. Armored cars are appearing. So we want to attack anything with an armored car because the armored cars right now have a readiness of 25. and that is... and really low experience. So they just have huge penalties to combat. So we should attack them while we can. I don't really want to attack with this unit. Probably should prioritize him too. Only 21 rifles. These guys are in good shape. This guy's only at 21. He got the short end of the stick. This guy's only at 33, but that's something. We'll set this guy's template to infantry now. Whew, boy, I tell you, this is tough. Let's get this guy to move forward. The fuel usage is going to be bad, so speaking of which, put you here. 1750. Okay, 2500. Hopefully it stops the bleeding. I don't think it will, but this guy still has enough engineering points to next turn move and build an oil here. And we'll get an oil here as well. So we should get 2 more oils. That's going to help with another 1500, and that should stop the outpouring of oil. We might even have some kind of positive gain. You can see that raws is not an issue. That once we had the initial investment in raw 2s, so here and here, that was sufficient. Oh, we can do production as well. I mean, some of the things we don't really know, but we know that this is going to be like that. And how's supply doing? So we're barely making supply now. So that shows you we're in a good shape. And how is... That's good. And how are rail capacity? 500 left over, that's a good sign. And 8 armored cars, which is exactly every... That means, okay, so we're at the point where we don't need to build more trains for a little bit. I'll take that for political power right now. How I know that is we were able to move as many armored cars forward as we needed, and we still had 500 rail capacity left over. So that's a good thing. And that means... Wait, where are the artillery? Okay, so I forgot this, and there is one way, I forgot to actually add production, and there is one way you can make this a little bit better. We're gonna reload the game. Okay, load, save game. Autosave. This should take us to the... I autosave every turn, so this is the end of last turn, again. We'll just make that one change. So stupid. So it's just so easy to forget something like that. Okay, so it's the same thing, but they are going to rerun their turn. Things could work out differently. Maybe they won't cheat. We can definitely see that this unit does not have enough action points to get there. You know what? Why don't we just make things even more aggressive? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's be even more aggressive, just to force them nowhere near this oil. Because they don't have enough riflemen to attack me in theory. So let's do this. And everything else should be exactly the same since we ended the turn supposedly knowing what we were doing. Good. They didn't cheat too much. Okay, this guy got his points back again. He got 2 and 2 instead of 2 and 3, I think was last time. 48 instead of 40, so pretty minor. That's going to save us, though. I think that was really important. Not having this guy sniffing at the oil was good. Actually, we're kind of in position to attack. Well, this one doesn't have an armored car. This one does. We'll do an attack somewhere here. I don't know where yet, but it's going to be important. Now, did we have enough rail capacity? No. Because artillery, only 2 move forward. Good. This is good. So, this is exactly what I was kind of expecting, is that we wouldn't quite be, and you can see even one armored car didn't make it forward. So 2 armored cars out of the 4 needed for this one made it forward. Okay, wow, okay. We're replenishing some people. This guy still only has 21. Okay, well, thank goodness we were at least able to spot that before I did too much. Move this guy forward. Where do we want people to go? I suspect we'll do a lot of pushing in the north this turn. And this should probably do it, by the way, for the slow string of forces forward in armored cars. We'll probably just not do as much of that. Artillery weighs 10, I think. Yeah. So actually they cannot be carried by armored cars, since the maximum carrying capacity is 5. And I think I already mentioned this, but 2 armored cars can't like share half an artillery each to get to move. You have to, an armored car, a unit cannot carry another unit if a single unit's carrying capacity is less than a single unit's weight. Cannot share load. Well, this is pretty weak, 40 and 42. It's pretty vulnerable. I would rather kill armored cars, though. I'd rather attack this somehow, which I think I'm able to do. Move here, attack. Move here, attack. It's important to get those armored cars as much as possible, because they're just going to spam them everywhere. Yes, we've got to attack this 4 sides, which is going to be great. Really interesting. Okay. You can move forward here. I'm kind of contemplating some weird stuff here. Some weird, quote-unquote, weird stuff. It's not too weird, it's just a huge envelopment. Like, what if we can cut them off entirely? Of course, there's enemy units back here we don't see, but I don't think we have the ability to do it. We need so many units to be able to hold that. And we don't have enough units to eliminate the pocket anyway. It's like a grand plan, but we'll put that in our back pocket for now. Let's just try to win the individual battles until we can find an opportunity like this. But one we can actually take advantage of. This one we can't, for sure. We're at 37 minutes, so we'll probably have to call this episode to a close. Maybe before we get all the way done. Okay, so let me see. The 10th and 11th. Can move here. Yes. Okay, good. Exceptional. We actually have the ability to move. Wait, why can't you move? Oh, it takes 100 and you only have 99. Well, that's the painful part of not having enough readiness on the previous turn. You actually can make it, though. I mean, I don't think we need to. We just basically probably need to get to Yonping. These 2 hexes. Instead, we can only get to this hex, not this one. This one can make it here. That might be what I want to do. Because I'm thinking of doing this. Driving this guy forward to see what we find. Instead of attacking this guy. I can shift here, do the attack from 4 sides still. Maybe even 5, maybe I even commit this unit. It's pretty raw still, experience of only 21. But it seems like it could be beneficial. I probably don't, it's probably overkill to bring too many units to this. This is very low readiness armored car. So let's do this, shift. Okay, that's really helpful. Really good information. The Suburban as well is going to give a huge defensive bonuses. So let's see if I can... Suburban, combat mod stats. Well, it probably is easier to look at it from the infantry standpoint. If you are in urban or suburban. So urban, I guess. I mean, sorry. This is suburban, yeah. If you're in suburban, you get 50 to 150 entrenchment, which is basically the same as the forest. And attacking, I should compare with the armored cars. Armored cars attacking into suburban is minus 50%, so they lose a lot of their attacking capability. So I have to be a little bit careful. It's still interesting to see what's up here, though. It costs 85 to move here. Otherwise, I can move here and still attack. I can move down here, which is risky because I could be cut off in this exact hex. It's tough. It's really tough. You don't expect armored cars, if they move one hex at a time, to be unaware of a unit. I shouldn't get a surprise attack against me because I have good reconnaissance, but it's something to consider as well. Maybe I just attack as well. Just eliminate them even more thoroughly. It's 40 to move there. Okay, somebody needs to be able to move back down here though to keep this line. Unless I don't care about the line, unless I let them connect and then I cut them off again. I don't know. Ah, gosh, decisions. I think that I'm going to do this. Let's move here and attack. Oh, they're engineers. Against armor, they're not... Well, they're about the same as normal infantry. Interesting. It might be worth it. Okay, let's try it. It's crazy, but let's try it. Alright, it was worth it. Engineers, remember, are twice as expensive. They cost 200. So we lost 1 for 7. Now, if I can, I'd like to retreat. I don't think moving forward is a good idea there. Let's do the attack on this guy. I'm probably going to have to advance this infantry. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I don't really know where I want to move him. Got to hold the line, you know. Let's do the attack first. So 129 out of 200. We're attacking 23 and 1. I think this is just 40% bonus, concentric bonus. It's amazing. We should just really crush this guy. Yeah, immediately destroyed the armored car. Only 2 very, very, very weak surviving units. Who do we want to move in? Let's move this unit in. And this unit can actually move here to hold the line. Good. That's good. Perfect. Now we want the 9th to come down here. Here, I'd say. And 1, 2, 3. Let's move this guy right here to begin his presence on the front. He still needs a little time to reinforce. Pretty good turn, though. Now the northern part. Still at 101. That's good. Although it's screaming for me to attack this, I think we're going to attack this unit. Kill the armored cars. Kill them all. And this is actually a really good unit to attack as well. Can I get away with 2 attacks here? 12, 11. Well, this unit's pretty weak in terms of riflemen, but I think I'm going to chance it. 35. Those riflemen are very scary. Okay, so we know we can do this. We know we can do this. We've got that guy to support down there. I think everyone's fine here. You're hopefully going to get some armored cars and actually be of some use to anybody ever soon. 1, 2, 3. I think we move you north so you can better help in that area, or at least 1 north. I don't know where I want you, but I feel like we're doing pretty well against this pocket. Okay, so do we do 2 or 1? How greedy do we want to be? This would be great to kill. But the armored car. Yeah, let's do this. Just 2. Taking a risk here. Kill it! Ah, retreated. Only lost 3 infantry, which is good. And then we're going to have to move back. Good. I'm glad we can move back. And then these guys do the attack here as well. I think I can move here and do the attack, which gives us a little bit better attacking. In fact, how bold do we want to be? I'm going to do this. Move this unit here. Going to move this unit here, and I'm moving this guy to the front. I'm going to manually transfer some units in. This is a little bit crazy. Manually transfer by Navy. I don't know why it chooses that for the default. 31 rifles at 50%. I hope they don't attack. If they do, oh, they have an armored car. That's not good, but at least it faces a 50% penalty. Can I move this guy? I just moved him. Damn it. No, I didn't move him, but he doesn't have enough action points. I may even want to transfer more riflemen in there. How are we doing? We're above 50%, 35 rifles. I hope that that deters them. If it doesn't, we'll have artillery in this area pretty soon. Unfortunately, artillery does face some penalties firing in the woods. 50%, not as good. So we'd prefer to attack people out in the open, but... Okay, so now we do this attack. And that's better. And we're facing... It's pretty weak. I really feel like this is good. I have a gut feeling it could work. These guys are attacking... Unfortunately, it's infantry attacking infantry, and that's not infantry's strong point. It's just... They just filled lines. Let's see how it goes. Okay, it went really well. We lost 5. And we killed 28. So that exceeds my 3-to-1 desired ratio. We're happy. And the readiness is absolutely smashed. Good turn. So this is a very long episode, and unfortunately trying to get more than 1 turn done per video might be difficult now. I think I'm going to keep this guy on the road. And even more, now that I'm looking at this unit probably needs to... Well, I guess it'll be supplied no matter what. In a crazy way, we could actually come and encircle. I don't want to play supply battles with the AI just because the AI probably gets bonuses there too. Yeah. Okay, we'll stay here because this is going to force them to wrap around or keep going. So I kind of like it. Oh, let's not forget about you. And get you to be infantry. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and end the turn here. And not end the turn, but end my video. So I can think about production off camera. We'll probably keep things, mostly the same. First of all, you move and give us more oil. We're desperate. Didn't I already do this? Before I saved the game? I mean, before we made our obvious mistakes? Yeah, so, I don't know. We're making do so far. We've established a front line, which is a bit aggressive in the south, a little bit too aggressive in my opinion. We want to pull back and let them attack into this plains area. If I can control this mountain and forest area, that would be better. We've already done some good jobs attacking in, but once they start getting armored cars in here, it's going to be very difficult, because armored cars actually surprisingly defend really well in the forest. I mean, they have a natural tendency not to defend as well, so their hit points are less, their attack values are less, but basically all those things are even. It's on even footing if you're in the forest attacking or defending, but it's still pretty potent as a defensive tool against infantry. So, but that's going to call this video to a close. 50 minutes, right? So anyways, we'll figure out how to do production at the beginning of next video, I should say. And yeah, and we'll make any other adjustments that I see. Until then, thanks for watching and take care.